Alright, let's take a look at some stuff. So I've got a cut. You can see in here, I dressed that up a little better. But I've got a cut. Well, actually, this will go in now like it's supposed to. But when this is in there, it actually pushes this away. So I've got to cut a little bit of that edge off. I've got that set about where I want it. So here's the thing. DSC tells you to go ahead and put this in and weld it to this sheet metal. Well, okay, that's 20 gauge. So just so you know, a really smart guy told me, don't weld your shit, and yeah, I said it, don't weld your shit to 20 gauge steel. Why? Because it's 20 gauge steel. Weld it to something that's going to be substantial. When you put your roll cage in, don't weld it to the sheet metal. Weld it to something substantial. Cut your sheet metal away, weld it to the frame, weld it to something solid. Same thing with this. This is going to be a heavy duty cross member that has to go in, and it's an important piece. So I'm cutting this sheet metal off. I'd already got a couple of tack weld or plug welds in there. So I'm going to actually set this on the steel frame and weld that to the frame itself. So basically all I got to do is continue to rip this off and see if I can't cut my freaking hand while I'm doing it. Yeah, that'll come off eventually. I got a glove somewhere. There it goes. Alright, so there's my welding if you want to see it. That was the copper weld and that was the other weld, but that kind of show you what that looked like and how far it burned away. It really didn't much at all. That got a little black, but I'll grind that down and ground all this stuff off here because that box will sit in there and be welded in here. I got to do the same thing over there. Got to cut that back. Here, let me set you up for a second. Where's my freaking tripod? And I kind of apologize. I kind of don't. I don't know, whatever. My last video, I didn't edit nothing. So you watch me fumble jack around with the freaking camera. Or not the camera, but the flashlight and whatever else. I mean, kind of is what it is. I didn't have time to sit and mess with it. Usually I don't edit my videos a lot anyway. I just cut some stuff out, like me messing around with the flashlight, but I didn't this time. So you got what you got, about 30 minutes long. And there's a lot of nonsense in there. Kind of shows you what goes on in a typical day. I mean, obviously nothing, when you're doing this, everything doesn't just fall right into place and go perfect, so, you know. So, this will fall in here, like that, and sit. So now it is sitting on the actual frame of the car, away from the steel. The bubble is in line. Needs to come down just a little bit on this side. I still got to cut that away and drop it. We're good that direction, but again, I'm got to drop that just 20 gauge. I mean, it's nothing. 32nd or 16th, whatever it is. Anyway, I thought I'd show you. That's kind of what I'm got going on. And this piece here is another brace that goes. This is for my Panhard bar, I believe. It shoots across that side, but it goes up inside here. Basically like that, and you can see it has a little close off piece in there that closes that inside edge off there, and then yeah, So there you go. I don't know if this is supposed to push up closer to that or not. I have to look at that. I'm not there yet. I'm still trying to figure out, you know, cutting my box area out and getting it all set up right and everything. This will come next. I'll weld that in. And then whatever else. I've got to cut these edges off. It tells you that in the DSE video. Basically cut that off. Just that little, probably 1/8 inch, 1/4 inch, whatever, so that they do it a little long on purpose, I guess. That way, you know, you can cut it to fit type deal. So anyway, I got to cut that back. And yeah, so looks pretty good. It's all fitting up pretty decent. Welding from the 1/8 inch to the 20 gauge steel will be fun. Of course, you know, I did a little practice video on that. I think I'll be fine. You gotta dwell on the heavy stuff and just barely come down and touch the light stuff. And then I think underneath I'll probably weld that too, depending on how the penetration goes or whatever. But anyway, so that's that. And then on the other side, I think I'll make a closeout panel for that. But again, I got to cut that. So I'm gonna go ahead and cut that side off. You can kind of see how it looks with that box in. It keeps I got to cut this back a little bit to make it even with this. I wanted to weld this all shut in here. They've done this thing here probably to clear for that. But that would leave that open, so I don't know if I want to actually close that off as well. So I'll just have to think about that, but no big deal. Anyway, I like the way this turned out, where I, you know, actually made it come down instead of it came way up here and dropped, you know, so I kind of like that. You can see my closeout, how it turned out. Maybe if the light will let you see that in here. So that'll be nice. We'll have a bunch of stuff getting up inside that area. So those worked out good. All right.